faculty members. My name is Kimberly Martin, and today I have for you my senior portfolio presentation. Hope you all enjoy. So some of my personal strengths I listed here, but I'm only going to acknowledge 5, which I believe are my top 5 strengths. Determination, optimism, focus, perseverance, and creativity. I think those are my top 5 strongest attributes. Now for my personal interests, I included reading, crocheting, scrapbooking, and any type of crafts. I love to craft. I also love to cook and to bake. A lot of you might not know this little fact about me. I am a Jehovah's Witness, so I do preach when I'm not here at school, and that's an activity that I really do like to do, and I enjoy doing it. And I also love to go camping. I enjoy the outdoors, and I love being outside and just roaming around in the trees. Now for my career research, the career of my choice is accounting. And some things that they do is that they examine and prepare financial records. They also ensure that financial records are accurate and taxes are paid properly and on time. They also assess financial operations, help ensure that the organization that they work for is running properly, and they also have to explain their findings, which means they have to do face-to-face meetings with organization managers and also individual clients, as well as prepare written reports. The education, they are required to have a bachelor's degree in accounting or a related field. Most prospective employers prefer for a candidate to have their master's degree in accounting or business administration with a concentration in accounting. Some important qualities that an accountant must have is analytical skills, because they have to be able to identify issues and documentation and also suggest solutions. They have to have good communication skills, because they have to listen carefully to facts and concerns from their clients and managers. And they also have to, as I previously said, discuss the results of their work in meetings and in written reports. They also have to be detail-oriented, because they have to pay attention to detail when compiling and examining documentation. Also have some math skills, because they have to analyze, compare, and interpret facts and figures. Complicated math skills aren't really required or necessary, just the basics. And then most importantly, they need organizational skills, because they often work with a range of financial documents for a range of clients, so they don't want to mix up paperwork for different clients. And then the pay that accountants have, the median for the 2015 was $67,194 per year, and then they got paid $32.30 per hour. That's just for the median. Most accountants will work a full-time job, and sometimes, depending on the months of the year, they will do up to 40 hours a week, especially during tax preparation time. They spend more time in the office. And then the job outlook is that they're expected to grow 11% from 2014 to 2024, which is faster than the average for all occupations. Also, that means that 142,400 new jobs will be available by 2024. Now for my ASVAB and my FAFSA results, I did the alternative to the ASVAB. So my top 3 categories were business management and administration, health and science, and then finance. The first 2 I received the score of 14, and then for the last one I received the score of 13. And then for my FAFSA, after I completed it and submitted it, I received information that I was eligible for $2,765 in Pell Grants and $5,500 in direct Stafford loans. Now for my community service experience. Ooh, boy, was that an experience. I did it from January up until end of April. I was helping out my chemistry teacher, Stisha Shubin, at the high school. Some things that I had to do were make copies, grade tests, grade work, If the students needed help with something, I would help them out since I was a former student of hers and I was a very good student in chemistry. I would help her set up labs, log in grades into the grade book, into a little binder that she had. And I was able to log more than 100 hours of community service because I would go in every single week and I would go in extra days as well. Some things that I benefited from the community service was my patience level grew because the students, Lord have mercy, I can't. Why? They were so rude. No. And also I learned how to become even more responsible because I was responsible for the grades, and if I didn't log it in right or if I didn't grade it correctly, it was my head and then hers. So, yeah. And then my goals, for my short-term goals, of course, as any teenager would want, their driver's license. I also want to get a job. I want to enroll in MSJC, which I am currently doing. I would also like to start getting in as much general ed courses as I can, and also see if my schedule permits it, get some accounting courses as my electives, just to see the basics of accounting and be able to see what it is I'm going to face in my 4-year university. And then, of course, my long-term goals are to receive my bachelor's degree in accounting, hopefully get hired by an accounting firm, and then, of course, becoming a CPA, which is very hard. You have to pass a series of tests which cost a lot of money. You have to be very dedicated and study a lot. Hopefully I can make it because it's my goal to do that. And then finally, my resume. Please don't judge me harshly. This is my first resume ever. A difficulty that I came up with when I was doing it is I've never worked a day in my life in a proper job. My parents and I decided early on in high school that I was going to focus on my schoolwork, and instead of getting a job and having to hassle with that. So for my experience, I just put that I helped out my teacher and also Dina. My first 2 years of high school, a lot of you might know her. I helped out Dina in the high school. I would help her make copies, file paperwork, answer the phones if she wasn't at her desk or in the front desk. I also, on the weekends, take care of my younger cousins, so I also have that experience with children. Other than that, I have no really other experience in life. And to top it all off, I put a quote by Winston Churchill. I love this quote. It says, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." And that is all.